खुशी को समझने के लिए दुख का
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have with us Mr.Pardhi, a super cop, a person who was once upon a time an iron man, who took people, who took criminals, and who brought them to book. Mr. Pardhi, welcome to S.B.S channel, Mr. Samir Bhai Shah's new venture. So, first of all, would you be so kind as to tell us something about Mr. Samir Bhai Shah, who was your friend, and once upon a time you were as thick as thieves?
Mr. Samir Shah is known to me for last about 30 years. When I was Deputy Commissioner of Police in Mumbai, he came in contact with me and he became a friend of mine, and which friendship is continued for last 35 years.
Okay. When you were in power, was there a political pressure on you? Was there any political demands? Because when police department is trying to work on the criminology or the criminal network, or trying to open the scandals, or trying to bring the criminals to the book, was there a political interference?
Look, I have worked all over Maharashtra, not only in Mumbai.
Okay.
I have worked in the State CID crime, State CID intelligence. I worked as a police commissioner in Solapur, Superintendent of Police, Nasik, Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Nanded, all these Maharashtra over.
Yeah, I mean.
But fortunately, in those days, no political leader, including ministers, have come to me and pressurized me for the investigation or for somebody's arrest or some action against his rival, political opposition leader, or some criminals. And that is my good experience, that no political pressures have come to me.
There is a proverb in English which is very classic, that lawbreakers are more clever than lawmakers. It's like when there are loopholes in the law, the outlaws, the criminals, are the people who are trying to take unfair advantage of the loopholes in the law can definitely supersede cops. Did you have such kind of experience in your life?
True, the criminals who are arrested by the police, charge sheeted by the police, and the charge sheet is submitted before the honorable courts. It was the ball in the court, and the criminal who is behind the bar or out of the jail, he brings the pressure. I mean, he gives such an advocate that who can
Defend.
plead the case
Yes.
in such a way that the court is confused whether this fellow is to be punished or not.
You mean to say that those outlaws are under the tutelage, or they have been tuitioned by those excellent advocates? But advocacy is a profession, is a fair profession where a judgment is, when they plead the case, any lawyer for any accused, it is a fair argument presented in the court of law.
Look, the advocates given by the government, that is the public prosecutors, they are not well
Worst.
worse, and they don't want to plead the case
Why so?
in such a way
Okay.
that the opposition advocate will not able to defend it. And because of that, the cases are mostly acquitted. And the criminal who is behind the bar or out of the bar, he is not punished properly.
So you mean to say that the public prosecutor is not at the par, but he is below par. He is far, I mean, he is not knowledgeable enough to defend for the law, or he cannot prove the criminal, or he cannot prove the criminal, or he cannot prove the accused as guilty. Is it because he lacks the knowledge of the law, or it's a deliberate design?
It is not deliberate design, but he has some lack of knowledge and lack of study, updatation, and
Or does he lack information?
he lacks information and updatation of the knowledge.
Right.
Because the criminal, the public, why they want to know to appoint so and so as a government leader? Because they know
That he won't be in a position.
that this fellow will plead the case
Yes.
in proper way, and the criminal will be punished properly.
Correct. So you want to say that the preservation of the purity of the judicial system is of highest importance. Correct?
That's true.
Despite the fact, sometimes an accused who required to be brought to book gets acquittal. It's because of lack of knowledge of the public prosecutor, or he is not educated enough.
See, he has no interest in the case. The problem is
Is he being less? The reason is is paid. It's a low paid job for him.
it's a low paid job. The criminal who is for whom he is pleading the case is highly paid by the criminal,
Oh,
and as against it, the public prosecutor who is appointed by the government or police, he is not. He is only getting his salary. He may plead, he may not plead properly. He is going to get his salary, not more than that. As against it, the advocate who is engaged by the criminal is paid according to the dates and demands, so that he is interested in pleading and getting him acquitted. That is the case.
there are so many criminals we have seen in the past, as well as today as well, that when they are being brought, they're in the custody, they are in the judicial custody, still they can operate sitting inside the jail. Why? How this is happening?
So that is I cannot make a comment on any department, but once the judicial custody is remanded to the criminal, he is under the jail authority.
You mean to say that he is under the influence of the jail authority?
I have no knowledge about the jail authority,
Okay.
but there may be some pressure, political pressure, monetary pressure, something like that.
Some people, I don't want to name them, as you rightly said, you don't want to comment it, but there has to be some extensive clout, which is like an invisible hand which works behind them. Correct?
That's true.
That's true. Mr. Pardhi, as you are a friend of Samir Bhai Shah, has Samir Bhai Shah's informalities attracted to you? I mean, what has really attracted, what is the reason Samir Bhai Shah became your friend? Does his informalities or the way he was, I just now, when he has entered, he shouted, he shrilled, he yelled. It's like a glee of a young man meeting after decades, embracing you. and shouting, "Oh God, what is this? What is this symbolic language? What does this sound like?" Two youngish people are meeting after a long time.
See, this is the when there was a Bombay, in Bombay was burning,
Yes.
I say,
Yeah.
in 91, 92, after the collapse of Ayodhya, Babri
Babri
Masjid.
Masjid.
There was a law and order problem in Mumbai. The police force was deployed and senior officers were also on the road. One of the police officers who was on the road controlling and supervising the bandobast, in front of him some criminal element, they have thrown some stone on him, which is not hitted to him, but it had just pelted a stone. And he shouted, "Oh my God!"
Oh,
And that is the word.
okay.
Samir picked up
Okay.
and he started saying that such fellow.
Right.
The incident happened like that. So that whenever we meet or whenever we talk, we say it is, he says that, "Oh my God." I also said, "Oh my God." That is the code word.
After 4 decades, he is still into those pun-making words.
Ah.
He's a humorous man, despite the fact he is very serious businessman.
That's true.
I have just interviewed Dheri Sahib, ex-commissioner of Thane, who was talking about his financial losses, about his insecurities, about his attitude, his incessantly smoking persona. Did not that affect your friendship? A person who used to walk in your cabin, hurling abuses, smoking, was that not a behavior of a person?
That is true.
Yeah.
It is sometimes it gets annoyed,
Yeah.
but because of the friendship, we have to tolerate
Yeah.
so many other bad habits.
Yeah, because he sometimes becomes intolerably offensive. But when we speak to you, when we speak to IJ Saab, when we speak to the ex-commissioners, they all accept his behavior and absolutely, in a way, they take him very lightly. Is it because his tonality, tenure, and his friendship?
They say during my service, when we were in meeting, that time his misbehavior was properly, and now after retirement, we are just like a friend. We can't observe the etiquettes and manners, and we are just like a good friend and behave like that.
Once I asked a question to IG, and he answered me aptly that Samir is not my Vardi ka dost, Samir is my real friend. He has not taken unfair or undue advantage of my position. Mr. Pardhi, I'm asking you the same question. Has he any time taken undue or unfair advantage of your position?
No,
Never.
he has not at all pressurized me or used his word for me to do some favor to somebody. On the contrary, we were not talking anything about the working of the uh, department or working of the investigation, inquiry, anything. And therefore, if that is the case, I would not have continued the friendship.
Oh, that's correct. Now tell me one thing. What was the pressure 40 years ago on the police department? Is the same pressure, because we see that although the crime rate has reduced in all police stations, like burglary, then kidnapping or pickpockets, or pickpocketing, what we see, but there is an a hyperbole, or there is some sort of shooting crime rise, or it has skyrocketed of cybercrime. So what is the reason behind skyrocketing of the cybercrime?
Cybercrime is very difficult to detect
You mean to say that we need to educate
and
police?
control.
We need to educate police technologically?
Technologically, it is all right. Technologically, nobody is prepared.
Okay.
If it would have been a trained and educated police force
All right.
and public, then this would not have been happened.
So you mean to say that there has to be a proper education about how a criminal works today. That technology is not available, or it has to be adopted, or it has to be imported from outside to make our officers or the investigating officers
No,
ready to interrogate, or we need to have some sort of technology where we can stop them. Because we see every day, almost every day, there is a big robbery, I would say a daylight robbery from your this app industry, where certain amount is being suddenly taken off from your account, siphoned off. Your
that's true.
account is siphoned off,
That's true. It is very difficult.
and you become just a silent spectator. You can't do. You become like a useless man, or you become a wax statue. You become a wax statue despite the fact that you have every power. Don't you feel that the person concerned is becomes, I mean, he becomes helpless?
That is true. And because nobody knows who is the mastermind behind all this crime.
Can we stop it by?
It is very difficult to stop because the link is very long. The mastermind sitting somewhere in another country, and he is managing. Just like you take the example of Mr. Daut,
Yeah,
who is sitting somewhere else out of India,
is he still operating?
and he is still operating in India. His gangs, they are still operating in Mumbai and other
You mean to say
bordering
that they
area.
have now become a
So-
public limited company,
Uh.
more techno savvy, and they are like now a corporate group.
That's true. The same thing is like a cyber crime.
They are swell and more swagger in their technology.
That's true.
So you mean to say that criminals now have become so much sophisticated that their technology cannot be caught, or their technology cannot be superseded unless our police department it is being educated, or they should be under the tutelage of some good trainers who can teach them how to nab those criminals or their operations.
That's true because all the people, the police force, 100% police force is not trained for the cyber crime. Even some officers they don't know what is a cyber crime, and therefore there is some people who have 10 to 50 people. They are sitting somewhere in the police station or some cyber cell located in CP office or SP office or somewhere else, and they are doing and investigating the cyber crime. But that is later on. The public, they are not informing the police or cyber cell on time, and therefore it becomes very difficult to trace the phone number and the criminal behind it.
It's very interesting to know that Mr. Pardhi, despite the fact retired, has excellent information. He is insisting on giving a technical education on, or bringing or making police more techno savvy, making police department more techno savvy. He is here and he spoke to us candidly about Samir Bhai Shah, who never misused his position. The way we see today you with Samir Bhai Shah, and the way you have wished him all the best for his channel and his new venture, it looks like Jack and Jill went off the hill. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jim came tumbling after. You are in Pune, and still Samir is visiting you after a long time, and you're welcoming him like Jack and Jill. Let your friendship be go afar. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the luck in the world. I wish you health, power, and position. Live long, Mr. Pardhi Saab. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
doing such a candid interview.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
I wish all the best to this channel of Mr. Samir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.